Hey there, Valve and Left 4 Dead fans. This is Wesitron. Today we're taking a look at NECA's Smoker action figure from the Left 4 Dead video game. This character is sort of like a snatch and grab type of character. You see his long tongue here in the packaging. He likes to whip that around you and drag you up the sides of buildings or through areas that are hard to get to. And if you don't have a friend shoot him soon enough, or if you're able to shoot him, I think you can shoot him on the way to the place where he's trying to choke you, then you can knock him out. But this figure has been out for a while now. I've had it for a long time, but I just realized that I had never opened it, which is a bummer as a toy fan. Cool picture of the, let's see, this is the actual sprite or character model in the game. And then there's shots of the figure on the side. And then on the back, it's got a little bio here, which you can read about. If you so desire, just pause there. And then the larger picture is, again, the character model, and then there's the Left 4 Dead symbol in the hand on the bottom, and then the front just says Left 4 Dead. The bottom here's got your credits. So you can see sculpt is by Trevor Zammit, paint by John Wardell and Jeffrey Trapp. John Wardell, I remember him from another review I did. I can't remember specifically which one it was, but I remember thinking he did a really good job. So this guy looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited to finally be opening him. Let's get him out of package and see how he fares. And here's the Smoker outside of his packaging, and I can already tell this is going to be one of those figures that my wife looks at me and is just like, what the hell is wrong with you? Because this guy is really, really nasty. He's really, really disgusting. You can see he's got tongues coming out of the back of his head, going over his shoulder here. Interchangeable tongues that come out of his mouth, like all this cancerous mass all over his shoulder, arm, face. I mean, he is really, really, really disgusting, which I think is really cool. Like, I always think, hey, nice sculpting job there, bud. But the wives don't really enjoy that quite as much. Or at least my wife doesn't. I know there's other chicks out there. Or at least I assume there is. There's got to be, right? We'll get some nice close-ups here of the action figure. Get some really nice looks at this face. You can see this is kind of like a yellow tan flesh where it's maybe been rotting for a little while. Like I said, this sort of cancerous mass on the side of him. Oh, there's another tongue there going from one mass to another. Pretty nasty. Lumps, another tongue coming out of his shoulder back here, and ew, it's movable. The tongue that comes out of the back here, if you look on the inside, there is actually a wire there, so that is fully bendable as well. Both tongues that can go in his mouth are interchangeable, also have wires. You can see the holes, and there's a wire inside. So this can be bent to your heart's content, make it nasty or wrap around another character. Very cool. Let me get that out of the way so it doesn't interfere with the camera. We'll put in the smaller tongue. And that's just on a basic peg and hole system. There's a hole up in his mouth. Peg it right in just like that. Very simple. So you have your option of how you want to display him. This is a problem with mine. So far, his head is popping off really easily. I haven't tried boiling it yet to see if that fixes it. I know a lot of people say if you have joints that are popping off a lot, try boiling them and then reattaching. They say that it helps like retain the shape. Because I haven't heard that being like a common problem, but it's not like really bad, but if you start to turn it very much, it'll pop off. But once it's on, it stays on like for display. But that's just something to note. Shirt, very, very nicely sculpted. It's got some like torn points up here. Very nice texturing you can see there. Great paint apps. Kind of dried blood in places and fresher in others. As somebody said, it looks like he's got like a bad case of the Hershey squirt. Somebody was saying that on the Fwoosh. There's that arm. Very, very disgusting. Matches really well with the boomer. Very, very nasty, but very cool. Kind of a gloss on a lot of his parts, I guess just to kind of help with that eerie look, like he's not quite human. Very, very nicely sculpted jeans down here. You can see the wrinkles really match up really well with what you would expect from a real-world counterpart. So very, very cool. Nice denim texturing here on the back pockets and everything. Very, very nice. The shirt is a rubber overlay, so it hides the articulation of the midsection. So that's pretty cool. They did that with their Ash figures and a little bit with their Rockies and stuff like that. So very cool stuff. It's neat to see them going in that direction. It's just, you know, something different. Nice wrinkles down here at the bottom, and then very nice kind of work boots. They do have a little bit of texturing on the bottom in terms of just the sole. The bottom itself is just the simple stylized, or not stylized, but flat, with a peg hole. So he will work with a peg hole, so that's cool. Articulation-wise, you saw he's got a ball-jointed head, but like I said, on mine, it does like to pop off very easily, so the range of motion actually isn't bad if your head stays on. I mean, it goes back that far, down that far, which is good because he's often on the top of roofs when he's attacking you. Side to side is good, but again, that's one to pop off. We've got swivel hinge shoulders. The right one goes out a little bit further than the left just because of this. Actually, that's still going up. That's actually not bad. A little bit more, but not a lot more than the cancerous arm. Swivel hinge elbows. Get about 90 degrees out of either side, maybe a little less on this arm because of the growth again. Ball jointed wrists, so nice movement there. Under the shirt we've got a ball joint, so you can see he's got some nice motion there, a little bit of side to side and some twist. And then in the waist itself, use the belly button as a point, you can see there's a swivel in there. I didn't think there was at first, but I got to messing with it and it got unstuck, so that's good. We've got swivel hinge, swivel hips here, and they are the swivels that go into the crotch this way, so you can push straight forward and it goes out. I've got a little bit of looseness here, just a little bit, not really bad. It didn't affect posing at all, but like when I pulled it out of the box, it was shaking a little bit. But it honestly didn't affect posing whatsoever. So that will go out about there. This is a rubber overlay again on the crotch midsection, so you see the jeans don't affect anything. These might deteriorate a little bit over time, so just be careful with that if you want to do really wide poses. Yeah, very nice range outwardly on that, and of course forward and then back quite a bit as well. Swivels up here. Then we've got swivel hinges in the knees, so they bend about 90 degrees, pretty good for a zombie. And then swivel, of course. And then we've got the awesome double ball jointed feet that they use, which are just fantastic. They've got this great inward movement, outward movement, back and forward. So if you want to put him in a really wide stance, he can keep his feet flat. So it looks really natural, really cool. The really neat thing about this figure is that all of his articulation is hidden. Usually that's not a big deal for me because I like articulation, but anytime they are able to hide it and keep it looking good, hey man, I'm all for it. That's cool. It makes him look like a statue on my shelf. Then I'm always like of the theory that toys are interactive statues. So very, very cool stuff. Like I said, this tongue is also very bendy. Very, very cool. Dig it a lot. This is a really nice action figure. So let me just pull back for a minute. And let's see what, there we go. Let's see what the Boomer looks like in here. So here's the Boomer and Smoker next to each other. And I'm actually surprised how big the Smoker is compared to him. I always thought the Boomer was kind of a big dude, but now that I've got the Smoker next to me, see, he's really, really tall. Like, shockingly tall. I had no idea he was supposed to be this big. NECA's pretty, or at least as far as I understand, pretty good about scale, so that makes him a really tall dude. Makes him very creepy. Let me compare him real quick. You guys see him next to, he's almost as tall as an engineer. And just for scale's sake, we'll get Ash over here in the picture. Just so you guys can see. We'll pull back. You can see Ash is just a tad, I know it doesn't look like it, but he's a tad shorter than the Boomer. And then the Smoker is just a hair shorter than the Engineer. So that's a big toy. That's pretty cool. I had no idea he was supposed to be that big. So I paid about $15. If I remember right, I will put the correct information in the comments, but if I remember right, I paid $15 from Corner Store Comics before these things were shipping to stores because I'm dumb and really wanted it before it got to stores and then didn't review it for like 4 months, so, or however long it's been. But yeah, really solid action figure. $20 I would say is a fair price. like after shipping, if you can't find these locally, I would say anything more than $20 and start thinking about how much you want the figure. $20, very appropriate. If shipping is no object to you, I still wouldn't pay more than $25. But a very good figure. Got 2 interchangeable tongues, great articulation, awesome detailing, very worth the money. And that's pretty much all there is to say. Great action figure, another awesome stroke for NECA. They're still my favorite toy company and probably going to be a fanboy for life. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming out. We're up over 250 subscribers now. That's awesome. Thank you, guys, all the new subscribers. You're awesome. Thank you for all the comments. Really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I really like to talk about toys. So if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below, and I will do my best to get back with you. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.